Welcome, everyone, to episode 16 of the Stellar Show here at the Uniontown Mall with myself, Ken Philbaum, with Victor Mullick, and don't let me forget the Duke here on Fayette County TV, Channel 77. We're going to jump into the feedback right out the gate. Sponsored by Malloy's Paving, 724-277-8037, 724-323-4179. And like we pointed out last week, they don't just, they do all kinds of variety of paving, so reach out to him. He can still make some things happen for you this summer. What do you got for feedback, Victor?
Well, for feedback, before I do anything with feedback, I want to say a special thank you to Eric Jabs of the Jabs family, probably the most popular breaker of cards. What happened over the course of the last year is they picked, I think it's 8 influencers who do breaks on the internet, and they put him in the new big league packs. So I have the big league packs here where there's a short print of Eric Jabs. He autographed this and mentioned me on one of his shows. So I want to say thanks to Eric for the mention on that part. And the feedback. Penn State. People loved that episode.
Oh, yeah, I saw the numbers.
We got a lot of positive, especially Caroline. Well, wasn't so much me looking good on the 50-yard line as it was the Caroline part.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, we got some follow-up with her with the Mailday, which will be fun. So any other feedback? I don't want to give away too much right now.
I'll shut my mouth then.
That's not a bad idea. I like that. We'll make the rest of the show better. Just me and Duke. No, kidding. So, but you know what? Actually, I do got to.
I think you're putting Duke up there because of the Winston thing the week before. Is Duke a little jealous that Winston got so much?
My elbow's still bothering me, and he was with my sister Shannon and nieces Isabel and Maddie last night. They may have overindulged him on nuggets.
This elbow, is this going to be a problem for the Steeler game? Or are you already looking for an out?
Oh, I ain't looking for an out. Hey,
you're looking for an excuse.
Just get, the elbows will still be flying. But no, so you know what though? You attacked my residency last week. You snuck that in there.
I do what I can.
Well, you know what?
Give me an option, I'll take it.
Do I need a friendly reminder?
But I did save you from when your brain was stuck.
Well,
I didn't do anything with that.
Which time?
In the future, something's coming.
Which time when my brain was stuck? No.
So anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, once again, rudely interrupting me. That's all right. I accept your apology.
A skill.
No, but you know what? That's that's all right. You know what? But speaking of Fayette County here, one of their finest residents, the Duke here, Fayette Friends of Animals. That's where I adopted Duke. If you're looking for a stray cat or a dog, please go check them out. There's a lot of good dogs and cats over there that could use a good home. And honestly, the Duke, one of the best things I ever did was adopt him. So, but speaking of some of Fayette's finest here, I'll have Rick's place it in. We talked about how this project got started with, my relationship with some of the Fayette's finest over here. They're like, hey, Ken, we got a project we're working on here. We need someone with some expertise in both of what we do in sports. So can you come help carry this project? So I was like, yeah, I'll gladly come take care of you guys. So
you are not putting me in Mensa. I don't care. I'm on the board and I get to choose.
Fair enough. Well, that is true. And you know what? That will be a fun topic down the road, maybe sooner than later. The rank and file here.
Understood.
So what do we got going on here? Everybody loved Adam too. I'll follow up with him, and send some prayers Adam's way. Adam Schaefer. He's also got a Facebook page. I'll throw that in the comments on the YouTube just so that you know where to go to find that. Let's give Adam some support while he's
going through the struggles
he's got going on here. Yeah. So I don't know. Anything you want to add?
Sounds like it.
Cool. The next segment will be a lot of fun. Stay tuned.
It's official. June 1st it will be the next Uniontown Mall card show. All the rules apply of all the other card shows. Tables are going to be $40 a piece. You can now purchase them at 724-550-4177 or on my personal cell phone at 724-610-0548. And now the only guy more famous than this guy is this guy, kids.
And kids 16 and under, the Pack Attack is back Saturday, June 1st, 3 p.m. right here at Uniontown Mall. And there's no one that gives away more prizes than this guy right here. And I love giving away this guy's money too. So we're going to do it again, bigger and better, Saturday, June 1st, 3 p.m. Kids 16 and under, don't miss the Pack Attack.
Hey, Bryce, don't you have a show coming up soon at Washington Town
I do,
Center?
Victor. Saturday, May 4th and Sunday, May 5th, Washington Crown Center. It's the biggest show ever in the Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio area. Over 500 tables. Washington Crown Center, located in Washington, PA, right off I-70. James Spence Authentication will be there. Nash Cards will be there. There's a whole list and line of guys that are going to be there, over 500 tables. Free admission, free parking. Don't miss it.
Bang. Thanks, Bryce.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Fayette County TV, Channel 77 here, the Stellar Show with myself, Ken Philbaum, along with Victor Mullick, and don't let me forget the Duke. We're going to jump right into Mailday, sponsored by Yinzer Valley Farms. Get on social media, check out their events calendar, which I forgot to do before I got here. So, Speedtech, if you want to smack me the next time you see me, I'm owed it. So, that being said, we're going to jump into the mail. And like I said in the last segment, when you brought up Caroline, she will be a big fan of what I got in here. And before I do get into this, we've talked about this in the past. Sometimes if you know when to watch for stuff, like on these, bid sites and whatnot, like eBay, for example, where I did get this, you know what, and another jersey I brought from previous, I bought a few years back. If you bid on this stuff sometimes and you watch it, you can get this stuff like less than what these people took a hit. We'll just leave it at that. So that being said, this is fun, especially with where we were last week. I know Dan will also be jealous of this. So what we have here.
Drew Aller.
That's right. We are.
Penn State, Indu.
So, this is the name stitched on there. This is what's called a pro-style jersey, even though this is a college team. Mm-hmm. One thing that's nice about a team like Penn State that wears the basic blues, whenever they make these pro styles, it looks so similar, right? Mm-hmm. And you can almost get them for the same price.
I'm going to set Duke down for just a second.
He'll be all right. He's going to start chirping because he's not getting the attention.
If you look up here is an actual Penn State game jersey from 2 years ago.
That's game worn.
Yeah, that's if I had the hook, I'd jump up and get it. Maybe we'll take a picture of it and let you get a comparison of the two. And
why that's important, too, like game worn and whatnot. I know in an earlier episode I wore my Jesse James game worn jersey. Those are cut to fit over equipment and whatnot, as opposed to these pro styles, they just make XLs and occasionally some smalls. But this is a good pickup. Honestly, I think I paid less than $45 with shipping for this because the auction ended at a weird time. Once again, because somebody didn't know what they were doing. I know we talked about Caroline. She's a big Drew Aller fan, rightfully so. I love both Drew and Bo Pribula. So Bo knows just about everything in that backfield. So that being said, but watch for Caroline's Corner in the fall. And depending on how NIL and maybe the transfer portal gets if it gets crazy over the next couple of weeks, we might be reaching out to Caroline to come on sooner to give us her insight.
Go through the portal and see what they're picking up.
But a fun one, too. So I told you, I think I have less than 45 into this. This is great. So if you remember a few years back, Antonio Brown briefly played with the Raiders. I don't even know if he suited up for a preseason game.
That was when he frosted his feet.
Yes.
Yeah, he fell asleep in the hyperbolic chamber and got frostbite on his toes.
But no joke, this jersey here with shipping, I have less than $20 into this. I think I won it for $9. I think I paid more for shipping.
Keep in mind, guys, when you're dealing with something like this, that in 4 years now, maybe 3, he is going to go into the Hall of Fame because the NFL has no morals clause. So he will eventually become a Hall of Famer, and everything will be forgotten.
Well, the numbers are there. You can't argue that.
Yeah, he will end up being in the Hall of Fame. This market will come back. You can make money on AB stuff.
But look at this here.
Le'Veon Bell's too.
Like I said, with these pro styles, sometimes they look close enough to where you can't tell. Mm-hmm. But that's why I love the Gold Rush Steeler versions, the pro style, because I have a Minka Fitzpatrick autographed one and a TJ Watt that I occasionally wear, and you can't tell the difference.
Open that back up.
Yes, sir.
The point of the pro style jersey, James Spence the players signed the number. So those are designed to be built into a shadow box to be hung on the wall. Now flip that back over to the other side.
Yes, sir.
You don't see the NFL logo, the team logos, like Ken has the Steeler logo, the equipment logo, the NFL logo on the shirt there. They're not bothering with this part of it because it's going to be buried onto a shadow box.
You know where this all started? I think we talked about this. This is the third week in a row we're going to have an O.J. Simpson reference.
The juice.
Yes, sir. So when O.J. was locked up while, the murder trial was going on, once a day for a couple hours, so many days a week, they would bring in just the number. And he would sign just the number. He would sign like anywhere from 100 to 1,000 of them, and then they would take them back to like a shop similar to yours, and they would press them on these jerseys. Yeah. That's actually where this concept started.
And then it morphed into the mystery boxes.
Yeah, right.
So mystery boxes are the boxes you will see in card shops. I personally don't like them being in here. You spend a lot of money, and you get, as I'm looking at, and we'll take a picture of, that's Willie Roaf, who is a Hall of Famer. Yeah. It's a Saints jersey. How good is that to pay $100 for if you buy a mystery box?
Yeah, right, especially living in southwestern Pennsylvania.
Yeah, there's no market for a Willie Roaf Saints jersey.
So you pointed out the Ben Roethlisberger jersey I'm wearing here. This is the 20-year anniversary of the Steelers drafting Ben Roethlisberger. Speaking of the draft, we teased it. Here we are. So let's just jump into the draft. I see you got some notes there. Why don't you fire away?
Well, no, the first thing I want to throw at you is if you haven't read the CBS Sportsline website
Glad you
today,
brought them up.
Justin Fields, the Steelers are alleged to not be interested in picking up the fifth-year option. What does that do for the Steelers in draft position right now?
I think you stay away from drafting quarterbacks because you got two good ones right now. And you know what? There's some good ones in next year's class. I'm looking at Dion's jersey. His son, I would love to see him as a Steeler, but I like Fields and Wilson. But go ahead, sorry.
But if you're looking at the situation right now, Russell Wilson is basically going to leave next year.
One-year deal. Yeah.
One-year deal there. Now you don't have a quarterback.
Well,
you're going from a situation where you were overloaded
just
with.
Because they're not picking up his option doesn't mean they're not considering keeping him. Those are two different, conversations. So
if you're in Justin Fields' camp, how well do you feel about playing for the Steelers this year, right now?
That
puts a different spin on to things.
This gives you more reason to go out and prove yourself because you got 31 teams that might bid for you.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're not going to sign him. That's not what I'm saying.
I know.
But for this story to be floated, could this be a diversionary?
On the Steelers' end of it, you haven't seen what he can do in your system. Mm-hmm. You don't want to just give away $200 million contract.
But it's kind of odd that this story would come out today.
No. I think that, you know what, it might...
This is a diversion, maybe. That's all I can think.
It could even be a draft tactic to try to force, the Steelers may take Bo Nix. Thrown out hypothetically, so maybe a team like Denver that's eyeing up Bo Nix. Okay, well, the Steelers aren't committed to Fields or Wilson. We better if we want Nix, we don't let him get to where the Steelers are picking. Hypothetical situation. But what else you got in your notes, sir? I see all kinds of.
No, I'm wearing the ESPN jersey today.
Stole my gimmick.
1979 was the first time that ESPN broadcasted the NFL draft, and I'm just old enough to remember when cable TV came to Fayette County back in that time frame, and all you had on there were darts, pool, and college basketball. So it was a revelation to have ESPN do the first draft. I was actually excused from going to school all those years that ESPN did it on Tuesday. The drafts weren't on the weekend, and they weren't the events that they are today.
Weekend drafts. But you know what? While we're on the subject, before you kind of try to get away from it, you are stealing my gimmick of wearing the jerseys. Had I known
this is really not a jersey. It's just a shirt that's
Had I known you were wearing the jersey,
based.
I would have dressed up like a background Sopranos character, like you normally dress on here.
Jeez. So now, a little bit of draft trivia for you kids out there. In 1934 was the first NFL draft. It was called the Players' Meeting. The first pick in the draft was?
I knew the Steelers' first pick was a gentleman by the last name of Shakespeare out of Notre Dame, but I don't remember.
The first overall pick in NFL history was a guy named Jay Berwanger, who never played for the team he was drafted by. He decided to not play football and sell foam rubber.
Hey, but at the time, he probably played it smart, the way that game was played and how much money they were paid at the time. But hey, you know what? You mentioned at some point, we were talking about some previous drafts, so you know what, that we're talking about how my brain's just all over the place. I don't know if it was before we started filming or during, but you did mention CBS Sports. I went and looked at their draft grade from the 2019 draft class. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, they gave the Steelers a B.
For 19.
For 2019. Guess how many players from the 2019 draft class are still on the current roster?
Well, the last one was just traded to Carolina.
That's right, 0. There were 0 people. The CBS gave them a B.
A B.
Mm-hmm. And not one of them is still with the team.
And Johnson was what, the 6th round pick?
Third round.
Third round?
Third round.
Sorry
I think they
about
may
that.
have had 2 third-round picks.
Who
that
was
year.
the first round pick that year?
Was that Edmonds? No, Bush. No, Bush was 18.
Mm-hmm. What year on this? I believe it was Edmonds.
Yeah, I think it was Edmonds.
That was Edmonds.
Yeah, Edmonds 19, Bush 18. I have both the rookie helmets. Actually, one of them's up here. Come try it on, kids.
Yeah.
But you know what? Actually, 2018, that one still drives me nuts to this day. They moved up to number 10. I'm texting everybody. They're taking DK Metcalf. They went and took Devin Bush. And look what DK Metcalf's doing, and look what Devin Bush is doing. Just to quote O.J. Simpson once again, I'm just saying.
Would you think the Steelers are moving up, or do you think they're staying?
Personally, I'm glad you said that. I think they should stay, and they should take Thomas out of LSU. Or if he's gone and Olu Fashano's sitting there, take him. I watched him firsthand. No one got by him for the last 2 years, and that's Big Ten football, not the all-clearance conference that some of these teams around here playing.
Did you just make that up? That was good. The
Well, it's
All-Clearance
accurate.
Conference,
Well, think
that's
about
good
it.
stuff. I will give credit where credit is due.
Look
That's
at
a
it.
good
The
one.
state of Georgia's in the SEC. The clearance version, Georgia Tech's in the ACC. Pennsylvania, the good versions, is in the Big Ten. The clearance version's in the ACC. Clemson, South Carolina, SEC, Clemson, all
You're
clearance
really
conference.
hurting our ratings in Allegheny County right now, and I don't know if we care.
I don't know about that. There are more Penn State fans there. Trust me, I pass more people on the way to and from Penn State than go down to watch home games.
Okay, so give me your top 5 picks, minus trades. I absolutely hate
glad you
looking
said
at
that.
mock drafts because you always throw these bizarre trades in there that never come to light. Give me the 5.
I say Williams goes 1. Drake May 2 to the Redskins. No, whatever they are this week. I can't keep track. Patriots got the 3rd pick. I would not be shocked if they're the team that makes the move and tries to get creative. But otherwise, I think they take Daniels. Arizona takes Marvin Harrison Jr. And who has 5th? Off the top of my head, I forget. San Diego. You know what? They got an all-pro quarterback or caliber quarterback. They go alt. Those are just my 5. Go ahead.
There are people right now thinking alt falls to the Steelers into a position where you could trade up for him.
Okay, I was going to say, yeah.
I think Washington takes Daniels. I like everything you said right there. The wild card to me would be if the Indianapolis Colts trade up. You're going to have to give up a ton to get Marvin Harrison Jr., but boy, that would be the story of the draft. If
it
you
would
ask
be
me.
similar to last year with Joey Porter Jr. coming to Pittsburgh.
I would be. It wouldn't surprise me if the Colts made some kind of move.
Someone's going to make a splash to move up to get Marvin Harrison Jr. And from what I've seen as a Penn State fan the last couple of years, that's the move to make because he's
that.
Yep. Anything you want to add? I think
we're pretty good on that.
All right, we'll be back.
Go. Hey Bryce, would you be interested in giving away another Pack Attack for life for a kid?
Absolutely. We did a bunch of those before. Free pack attack until you're age 16.
You know what? I'm going to one-up you on that. And any kid who has a friend who hasn't been to a Pack Attack, if you bring them and they buy a ticket, they get $10 store credit.
Very nice.
Just a thing to think about. Pack Attack. Hey, thanks again, Bryce. This is Victor with the final segment, along with Ken and Duke, of episode 16 of the Stellar Show. First thing I want to remind all you kids is the wiffle ball game, the wiffle ball clinic down at the YMCA. It's going to be on May 15th through the 18th. You can still sign up. There's still positions available. For members, it's $40. For non-members, it's $50. The other big deal is right around the corner, the Steelers versus Mount Pleasant in the football game. The retired guys.
Basketball.
Football.
The Steelers footballers versus basketball.
You sure it's basketball?
We're playing basketball.
Say it again. It's basketball.
Yeah, you're good. We're good. Keep going. We're having fun with it. It'll be a good time, folks. Doors will open at 5:30. There's a prelim game with the mothers versus the high school girls basketball game.
It's a basketball game.
Yeah, right. And then we also have we're going to be doing like a half-court shootout. Plus, the Stellar Show will be in attendance. We're going to be filming some stuff that, we'll put on the show and maybe get an interview or two that'll be a good
Contrary
time.
to everything you're seeing on Instagram and Facebook, I am not playing. Do not believe that. Do not believe all the rumors and the innuendos. I will be in person.
Don't let the elbow throw you off. I'll be suited up. I always show up when
He's already creating excuses.
No. But anyway, hey, before I forget, Fat Cats, May 3rd is 90s night. There's DJ Rick will be there. Go check it out. I'm planning on attending. I gotta check my calendar before I 100% commit. So that being said, Victor finally made it to Wheeling, West Virginia for the Nailers last night. They were up 3-1 against, I already forgot who they're playing because it won't matter after Saturday anyway because they're moving on to the next round, which I will be in attendance for that game at the Penguins practice facility. So what'd you think, man?
I had a problem with the mascot. Hopefully you guys will get to see the video. Threw a hockey puck and pretty much could have put it in his mouth. Outside of that, you understand why right away that these guys are playing where they are. The shots were wonderful to watch. The noises were amazing when they were hitting. If there wasn't a net, there were shots that would have hit people. But the building is fantastic. It's a great environment, a small environment, the loudest goal horn I have ever heard.
The Hall of Fame in there is a good
the building is spectacular.
And actually, that West Banco down in Wheeling, it's really not that far from here. Anytime WWE, concerts, whatever's going on there, it's well worth checking out because it's such a small building.
It has all the character. It has so much character. It's worth the drive.
Yeah, and always a good time down there. And we had some good pizza before we went in there. It wasn't as good as, like I said, Bud Murphy's, Riz's.
Shop and Save Deli. I'm bringing it here. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
It's the secret.
I wouldn't even feed that to Duke. Sorry, the Duke. Sorry, Bud. Or definitely does not touch Lobingers of the Village.
So are you going back down to Wheeling?
No, they're playing at the Penguins practice facility this Saturday. I was able to get some tickets for that. I will be there. Hopefully, when they finish this series up and get on to the next round of the Kelly Cup, I would love to see that hosted in Wheeling, West Virginia.
The Kelly Cup?
Oh, absolutely. We will be there if they do. So, what else you got?
Right now, I'm good.
Yeah, actually, I'm about good too. So we're going to wrap this up here. We'll see you guys next week from Mount Pleasant for the basketball game. Rise Wrestling is next. Thank you.
The Steelers Show.